I've been in this business now for 57 years. Sandy Gallagher has been in it now for the past 10 years. And she spent her commercial career up to that point as a securities attorney. She was buying, selling banks, merging banks. She has a lot of information when it comes to money. So we formed a partnership about 10 years ago. I'd been in the business for many, many years, and it's working very well. A lot of people are getting help. Now, for the next few minutes, I want to talk about you. I want you to just think about you for a moment. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about how you're living versus how you'd really like to live. You see, pay close attention to what we're doing, and you're going to find out that you can actually create your own economy. Now, I learned that many years ago when a man told me, he said, Bob, if you'll read this book and do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want. Now, I did not believe that, but after talking to him for a while, I believed he believed. I was happy, he was healthy, he was wealthy. I was unhappy, I was sick, and I was broke. I had no formal education, I had no business experience. He said, that doesn't matter, Bob. What's happened in the past is the past. What happens in the future is based on the decisions you make. I said, I know how to earn money. I know how to be happy, and I know how to stay healthy. If you'll do exactly what I tell you, your life will change. Well, you know, it did. Over the next year, I multiplied my income. In fact, my life changed so much, I made a decision on one thing. From that point on, I would always have a mentor. I would have some kind of a coach, and I would pick someone that knows how to do what I want to do. And then I'd do exactly what they told me. And that's what I've done. And I've been doing that now for over half a century. I sat down and took a pen out one day and said, I'm going to build a company that operates all over the world. Well, right now I'm broadcasting all over the world. And I'm going to show you how you can really make things happen. Growth is a normal part of life. If something's not growing, it's dying. Now, if we're going to grow, there's one thing we're going to have to do. We're going to have to change. We cannot stay where we are and get better results. It just doesn't work. Now, this man said to me, Bob, you change your paradigm and you'll change your life. I didn't even know what paradigm was. I certainly didn't know how to spell it, didn't understand it. He said, let me show you what a paradigm is. He said, you told me that you wanted to earn more money. That's all I wanted. I figured if I had enough money, my problems would go away. See, I was earning a little bit and I owed a lot. I owed everybody money and I couldn't seem to get out of debt. I just couldn't seem to do it. I'd pay one bill and another one would pop up. Well, he said, let me tell you something. There's two things that you must know if you're going to create wealth. They're not difficult. Anybody can learn them. You have to know where you are. You have to know where you're going. And then you've got to get moving in that direction. Now, this is so simple and so obvious that when you start studying this, you're going to ask yourself, why are so many people stuck? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are stuck. Most people get the same result this year as they got last year. Well, it may have fluctuated a little bit, but not very much. Do you know, with the potential we've got, we should double, triple, quadruple our potential, our right results. Because we're God's highest form of creation. We've got mental powers that would blow you away as you start to study them. So the obvious answer is then, well, people mustn't have goals. And I suppose that's true in a lot of cases. But I think a lot of people have goals, they just don't know how to get them. I don't think that's where the problem is. The problem's over here in understanding where we are. And most people really don't understand where they are. Oh, they know where they are physical. You know, I'm standing in the middle of a field and a farm and so on. I'm walking down a main street and Fifth Avenue in New York. They know where they are physically, but mentally they don't know where they are. They don't know why they keep getting the same results over and over and over. They keep same reoccurring problem. Well, he said, I'm going to tell you why. He says, because of paradigms. Because of paradigms. And then he said, Bob, you've got to learn to control the flow of the thought energy, and you got to let it flow freely to and through you, and it'll improve everything that it connects with. See, there's an energy flowing to and through us. I'm not going to take the time to go into it here, but you can actually photograph the energy leaving a body. I think you may have seen that or heard of it. It's called Kirlian photography. A man named Semyon Kirlian back in 1934 in Russia perfected a form of photography where you can photograph mass and you can photograph the energy coming from it. This thing we're living in is a massive energy. Do you know there's about 11 million kilowatt hours per pound potential energy locked up in the electrons and the atoms of our body? We're just walking dynamos. We don't understand how to direct it. Well, let's take a look. What is a paradigm? A paradigm is a mental program that has almost, I say almost, exclusive control over our habitual behavior. Now think of this for a moment. Almost all of our behavior is habitual. So what we're really saying is that paradigms are controlling our life. We're not controlling our life at all. Now consider this. People go to school, they gather all kinds of information, they may have degrees, come right off the end of their business card. So they're not lacking in the smarts department, in the intellect department. They've got the knowledge, they're not using it. Why do so many people graduate from university, deep in debt from going to university, and they can't find work? How could you have all that knowledge and not find work? How could you have all that knowledge and be broke? Well, I'm telling you why. It's because of paradigms. Now, this is an interesting subject. This is a black and white matter. There's no gray matter here. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in. I've been working at this for over 50 years. I'm very familiar with it. If the paradigm does not change, ultimately the results will remain much the same from one year to the next. And that's really what happens to most people. If you only remember one thing I'm saying, I want you to burn this into your mind. When paradigms stay in control, nothing changes. Now, you can try as hard as you want to change some area in your life. If the paradigm remains in control, you're toast. It just will not work. So we got to ask ourselves some questions. How do we control the flow? Well, we've got the ability to choose. We've got phenomenal mental faculties. What is a paradigm shift? What is it? Well, it's an interesting thing. When we really cause the paradigm shift, everything happens. Now, we're doing a program. It's called a paradigm shift. It's a seminar. I don't care where you are in the world. I can come right onto your pad, right onto your computer, right onto your phone, anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, and you can attend a seminar that I'm doing with Sandy Gallagher on paradigms. It is a powerful program, and we're coming right into your home. Now, what is it? It's a resourceful environment that we create where people from all over the world collaborate, they mastermind, and explore opportunities while developing financial independence by setting up multiple sources of income. Look at that phrase right at the bottom of the slide. Multiple sources of income. Way back many years ago, I was trying to figure out, what do wealthy people do that's so different? I've met wealthy people that were absolutely brilliant, and you could understand why they're wealthy. But I've met other people who aren't very bright at all, and they're also wealthy. So it's a cross-section of people. You'll find men and women. You'll find young and old. You'll find from every nation, every culture. You'll find the wealthy and poor. Well, what is the concept? Wealthy people, almost without exception. I say almost because I don't know for certain if everybody does, but I'm inclined to think they do. They have multiple sources. They don't have one source of income. They have many sources of income. I have sources of income from all over the world because I've set up a company that operates all over the world. But we show you how to do that too. You can. You can earn money while you're sleeping. I did last night, and I will tonight, and you can too. The Paradigm Shift Seminar is a beauty. There's only two known ways to change a paradigm. Just two. Go ask any psychologist, any psychiatrist. The paradigm is like a program in our mind that controls our behavior. Doesn't matter how much we know, our behavior is controlled by the paradigm. Now, the first way is the constant spaced repetition of ideas that are essentially the opposite of the paradigm. That's what our Paradigm Shift Seminar is all about. That's what I'm inviting you to. Now, the other way, it doesn't happen very often. That's the personal experience of an emotional impact. I'll give you an example. 9/11 in New York, the buildings coming down, that was an emotional impact. Not for me, probably not for you. It was a terrible thing that everybody would agree was an absolute catastrophe. It was a paradigm shift for the people that were involved in that area. When that happened, their lives changed. The family of people that were killed there, paradigm shift. That doesn't happen often. You can count on the other one, the constant spaced repetition. I'm going to show you why. Now look at this for a moment.
That's so dope.
Why repetition is necessary when changing paradigms. Now, you've probably attended a paradigm shift seminar. Go back and attend another one, and another one, and another one. I started to read this book 57 years ago. I'm still reading it. I have a book here open on my desk. Get this over here. Let me grab it. Let's change that here. I have it open. I've been reading these 2 pages for 3 months because I know that's how paradigms change. It's repetition that actually changes it. Now, here's why. I want you to look at this for a moment. Let the white line that I'm going to put on here represent the sound of my voice. The red line represents you listening to the sound of my voice. The white line represents my voice. Now think. So you go along and you're listening. Now there's a difference between listening and hearing. You can hear me and not listen to me. Kids are like that with their parents. Most people are like that with their spouse. They hear them, but they're not listening to them. And so they're in trouble. That's the way it works. So think of what I'm saying again. The white line represents the sound of me talking. The red line represents you listening to me talking. Now, I'll go along and I'll be explaining something, a bang, an idea will hit. Where do you go? You go off on a thought trip. You see, those lines are what we call a thought frequency. And you'll be up here and you'll be thinking about that idea that hit your mind. All the while, the white line's still going. I'm still talking, but you don't hear it. You do hear it. You don't listen to it. And then you come back down and you start listening again. And you go along and bang, another idea hits and away you go on another thought trip. So you see, that is why we can listen to the same thing over and over. And you'll say, I never heard that on there before. I never heard that before. You could be reading in a book and say, I don't ever remember seeing that in the book. That is because you would be reading, your eyes are going, but your mind is off somewhere else. Now think of this. If you see those red dots and they represent at the point in the seminar when you took an idea and you started to think about it. Let's suppose you come back to it again. Let's tear all this down for a moment and we'll just leave the dots on there. Okay? Now, what do you suppose the odds are of you stopping on that idea?
All right, guys, we're going to start in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. All right, so where we at right here? 12 minutes in. Yep, so about 2 minutes till we get the call started. I usually start about 15 minutes of live time. Give everybody a chance to get in, get their pens, get their papers ready, promote the call to their friends, their family, their team. So take these last 2 minutes to spread words in the chat. Let everybody know that we are live, and we will get this call started in exactly 2 minutes, fam. Hope you guys are enjoying Bobby P. Let's get it.
The next time you hear the same thing, it is going to happen. You're going to come down there. You see, the odds of you stopping at the same point, you're not going to do it. So you're only getting emotionally involved in the idea once, and then you get another idea at another place. Through repetition, everything in your life starts to change. Now, I never knew that, but I started to read this book, and then I started to listen to a recording of Earl Nightingale's battle way back in 1961. I was so fascinated with what Earl was talking about, I couldn't stop listening to it. 10 years later, I was living in England. I was earning over $1 million a year. I had business in 7 different cities in Canada, the US, and England. I was earning all kinds of money. And I started to ask myself, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And I could not figure it out.
You had cafe.
I've been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you got to be really smart. I knew I wasn't that smart, but I was earning a lot of money. I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I didn't have a good job. I owned the whole company. So then I started to think, well, a lot of the stuff I believe isn't even true. And then I started to think, how the heck did I change? And so I started to study. It took me about 9.5 years. And when I figured it out, all I wanted to do was teach it. And I reasoned it was because of the repetition. I kept listening to this material. I was starting with records, and then we get into cassettes, and on it goes, and then we're online. But it's the repetition of hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what happens to people. That's why almost all welfare recipients are third, fourth.
All right, fam. Here we go. Grand Rising Familia. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling aligned. I'm feeling connected. I'm expecting miracles and I get miracles, guys. I am expecting miracles and I get miracles. And I am so blessed and so grateful that I get to jump on a call every morning with hundreds of dedicated individuals that are excited to learn more, who are excited to become better versions of themselves, who are always growing. So real quick, big smiles in the chat, big cheesy smiles, because we are happy, we are blessed, and we are grateful. Crazy times for sure. Praying for, those people out in Ukraine and Russia, with everything going on over there. But we definitely got to keep the high spirits up, and that's why I tell you guys, like, yo, what we do is phenomenal. Sometimes we take for granted, these calls, the freedom that we have, the protection that we have. And look, mind you, there is literally a war going on as we speak right now. There's a war going on the other side of the world. And here we are on a call with hundreds of people talking about how to get better, how to improve, how to have a better connection with God, and how to become a better version of ourselves. And that's what it's all about. So can we just say thank you, God, in the chat, please? Can we just give thanks and all praise and glory to God for keeping us protected, for allowing us to live this life of abundance, and this abundance life filled with freedom, filled with blessings. And at the end of the day, we're here, we here, and we could just be thankful for everything. And that's all we can do right now. And we pray and we hope that, nothing gets out of proportion and things just stay very well controlled, that nothing gets worse than what it already is. And we're praying for people, and we pray, we send prayers, we send love, we send peace to those individuals who are currently, unfortunately having to deal with with these issues. And nobody deserves this stuff, and it's kind of messed up, but what can we do? We can't control it. So I pray for those individuals, and we'll definitely say a prayer at the end for them. But as we're expressing our thank you to God, let's express one other thing that we are grateful for as well. As you guys know, gratitude is the highest form of emotion, and it is something that we must continue to spread each and every single day. All right. So I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my mentors. I am grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter Dadiana. I'm grateful for my day one brothers. I'm grateful for Katie, who's always there for me. I'm extremely grateful for Marcy. I'm grateful for Jen. I'm grateful for KD, for Laura, who's here at the crib, for my brother Pierre, who came on this and killed it the other day, right? Natalia, the puppy Hazel. Just extremely grateful for everything happening in my life right now. And I'm just forever thankful for everything. I see my boy Jay Miles there in the chat. Extremely grateful for you, bro. Grateful for you, Ricardo, for Tay, for Ashley, for Diamond, for Rex, for Raina, for Starry Eyedization, for Jessica, for Eunice, my sister Eunice, for Cozy, for Jasmine, for Sana. I can't forget Jasmine and Sana. Extremely grateful for AB, Young, Gia, Tay Gotti, Greg, Rex, Shalana, Twin Vibrations. Extremely thankful for each and every single one of you guys. So let's get this call started. Today we have a very special topic, and I wanted to teach it to you guys. So let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about the law of 25. Okay. The law of 25. All right. That is today's topic. So go in the chat. Go in your notebooks, and I want you guys to write down the law of 25. Okay. The law of 25 is something very powerful. Okay. And I'm going to get into exactly what it is. But, I want to give a huge shout out to my mentor, my brother, one of my best friends, Matt Rosa. Yesterday, as you guys know, I was at his house. I slept over. I got a haircut, everything. But just Matt is just a phenomenal leader, mentor, and somebody that I have so much love and respect for. he called me over and he said, he was on tour for a few weeks, traveling the world, multiple different countries. And he got home and he said, bro, let's game plan. Let's game plan on how we're going to get you, to the next level. Let's game plan on how, we need to, help you out. And obviously we had a great game plan. He gave me some amazing things to do. And, after we was kind of done with the game plan, I started kind of asking him more of some personal questions that I needed answers to. And I talked to him about a lot about the proximity that people have to me, and the amount of time that I should be spending with people. Okay, and this is something that is important. And he told me the law of 25, and he gave me literally a whole training on the law of 25. And basically what the law of 25 is the amount of time that you should be spending with certain people in your life. Okay. And the reason why it's broken down into 25 is because it's 25% for 4 different sections. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that here today. The 4 different areas that you got to be spending 25% of your time when it comes to people. And that's mad important. All right, guys. Very, very, very important. All right. So I need you guys to understand this, because a lot of people tend to not pay attention to these things. But understand that the law of association is real, right? They say that if you spend, your time with 5 broke people, you will become the 6. Okay, they say if you hang out around 5 millionaires, you will become the 6th millionaire. Okay, so we understand that who we hang out with determines the reality that we live. I want you guys to write this down. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. That is so important. Show me literally, you can show me your friends and I can show you your future. Now, I'm not saying to stop being friends with the people you grew up with or the people that you know. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. But who are the friends that you're spending the most time with is important. Who are the people that you're talking to the most is important. Because think about it. There's another statistics that says that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with and that you talk to on a day-to-day basis. Okay? Listen to that one more time. You are an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with and you talk to every day. You are an average. And what I mean by an average, not just an income, I'm talking about their habits, the ways they speak, their paradigms, the jobs, the things that you guys eat. You are an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with and you talk to on a day-to-day basis. So think about that. Think about the people you talk to every day. Think about the people that you spend time with every day. I'm pretty sure you guys have similar habits. You guys have similar speaking patterns. You guys have similar ways of thinking, similar diets. This is the truth. Because I remember when I first learned this and somebody told me that, it kind of hit me hard, because they said, Nano, show me your friends, show me your future. And then they said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And then I was looking at the people I spend the most time with, and some of those people were my parents. Some of those people were close friends. Some of those individuals were relationships that I was in. And I was looking at these things and I'm like, they always say, right? What's the first basic that Kevin Trudeau teaches? Can anybody tell me what the first basic that Kevin Trudeau teaches? Can anybody tell me what it is? All right, let's see who knows. Who do you listen to? 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 And who you listen to has a huge influence in your life. I want you to understand that. Who you listen to will have an incredible influence in your life. Now, first off, let me just stop and say, I am so proud of all of you guys. Like everybody who answered that and knew that, That makes me so happy because that you guys actually know this stuff, right? You guys are knowing and you understand where it is. And like just by me asking, you guys know this stuff. So that tells me a lot that you guys have been studying, you guys have been doing it. So I appreciate that. But who you listen to is everything. It's everything. So you got to think about it. Who are you guys can consider me somebody within your 5 people. If you jump on Mornings with Nano every day, you can consider me somebody that we talk to every day and that you spend time with every day. Because regardless, you spend an hour every day here with me, and we basically talk every day, even though you might not be talking to me directly, but we talk every day. I pour into you every day. So consider me a friend. Consider me a family member. Consider me a mentor, because I am somebody you listen to. Okay. Now, I'm a millionaire spiritually, but in the physical, I've made close to $500,000 already. Okay. So I can help a lot of you guys make $500,000 because that's what I've been able to earn over a good period of time with this business. Now, I will make millions this year, which means you guys have a millionaire mentor. You guys have somebody that has went from nothing, from $20 a day that my mom would give me, to $1 million a year. So I started with nothing and I have something now. So I can show you guys what I did. I can tell you guys the books that I read. I can guide you guys in the direction that I took. And I'm not saying that my way is the only way. There's so many other ways for you guys to make the money. But if you don't have somebody that's willing to guide you guys and show up for you every single day, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Okay. So consider me one of your family members. Consider me somebody in your life that is a friend, that is a part of the law of association for you. Consider me that, because that is so important. So let's talk about the law of 25. Okay, the law of 25 is very important. All right. 25% of the time that you spend has to be with yourself. All right. 25% of the time you want to spend it by yourself. Okay. And now this time is dedicated to inner work. Inner work. This is what I talk about every day. Deep work daily. All right. We woke up this morning at 6:30. We were on the beach. All right. We walked on the beach. We meditated on the beach. We read our books. We did our breath work. We did our journaling. Okay. We talked. We practiced gratitude. We spoke to God. Everything. We already spent times by ourselves on the beach this morning. Now, yes, I did it with my leaders, but guess what? Usually I would do that by myself, whether they were here or not. Okay. So what time are you spending on your own, and what are you doing on your own time? Because you see, a lot of us, we spend time alone, but are we doing deep work? Are we working on ourselves? This is something that's important. I literally sat here last night with, Jennifer and Laura, and I was literally showing them, because Instagram still has my stories from 2018. And I was showing them, I was like, yo, look, like I was doing this back in 2018. Like everything you guys see me doing now, I was doing this in 2018, 2019. I was going to the park early in the morning. I was showing them, look, every day I would post it at 6:30. I was in the park every day, rain or shine. I was at the park at 6:30. There was a little park 3 blocks from my house. All right. So I would wake up at 5:55. I would drink some water. I would go to the store. I would always buy almonds. It was my breakfast at the time was almonds and blueberries. I would always eat some almonds and some blueberries and my water. And I would walk to the park. So from the time I woke up to the time it got to the park, it would take me about 30 minutes, right? I would get to the park at 6:30 every time. Like it was literally on point. I was explaining this. So I was like, yo, I was so on point because I couldn't slip up. I was broke. I was like, I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. So I had to make sure that I was on point. So every day, 5:55, not 5:56, not 6 a.m., not 6:05, 5:55. I was up out of bed, brushing my teeth, with my gold card in hand, reading it, spending time on my own. No phone, no Instagram, no Twitter, no Snapchat, no Facebook, no nothing. Just me, my goals, and God. Literally. And I would sit there, right? From the moment I woke up, I was explaining this to her, right? I was explaining this to her. I was like, okay, I had this and I had my phone, right? I would wake up and these are my two things. I would put it right next to my bed, my gold card and my phone. And I would have it on my bed right next to me so that the moment I woke up, because at the time, right, put a 1 in the chat box if your phone is the first thing you grab when you wake up. Put a 1 in the chat box if one of the first things that you grab when you wake up is your phone, right? And it's okay. You can be honest, all right? If that was something that you used to do, fine. But this is what happens, right? And what I mean by grab your phone, all right? What I mean by grab your phone is that if you do it to turn off an alarm, that's not grabbing your phone. What I mean by grab your phone is the first thing you do is grab your phone and check messages, check Instagram, check that. That's grabbing your phone and doing something. Because if you do that, then think about it. You're grabbing your phone before you pray, before you read your gold card, before you practice gratitude, before anything. So what I would do, right, is I would wake up and I had a choice. Am I going to read my gold card first? Or am I going to grab my phone and get on Instagram and check what's going on? That's what I would do, literally. So what I started to do was I put my gold card and my phone right next to each other. And every day I had a choice. Am I going to grab my phone first or am I going to grab my gold card first? What do you guys think I did? Put it in the chat box. What do you guys think I did? I grabbed my gold card. I grabbed my gold card. And you know what I would do? I would grab it and I would read it to myself and I would celebrate it and I would visualize it. Boom. And I would wake up and I remember at the time my goal was to make 6 figures because I was broke. I was broke. So my goal at the time is I was so happy and grateful now that I was making $10,000 a month, right? That was my goal. I wanted to make $10,000 a month because on a yearly basis, that's an income of over 120K. So that was my first goal because I knew at 10K a month, I could move out of my parents' house. You know, I could help my family a little bit. That was that first goal for me. So every day I would wake up. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $10,000 a month in profit through multiple streams of income. Or I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a Chairman 10 qualified. In reality, the real goal was this. I am so happy and grateful now that I am Chairman 10 by September 11th, 2019. I would write it down every day. Every day. And not only did I read it right there to myself every morning, after I was done, I would sit down on the edge of my bed and I would visualize myself as that person. So think about it. I woke up, I didn't check my phone. I didn't do anything else but focus on my goals. The first thing on my mind, the first thought on my mind was my goals. Because I want you guys to write this down. What you pour into your mind within the first 20 minutes of you waking up is what will determine the rest of your day and the thoughts for the rest of the day. Whatever you pour into your mind within the first 20 minutes of you waking up determines your thoughts, your actions, and everything for the rest of the day. So what was I doing for the first 10 minutes? Reading my goals and visualizing them. Visualizing it. Thank you. Wow, I'm so grateful. I see myself as that Chairman 10. I would see the flyer. I would see the money hitting my bank account. I would see the $2,500 every week. I would see the leaders in my organization that grew and elevated because of it. That was within the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then guess what? My phone is still not being touched. I still have not touched my phone at all. Okay. Then what I would do is I would practice gratitude. Gratitude. I'm grateful. Thank you, God, for my health. Thank you for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Then I would brush my teeth, left hand. I'm right hand dominant. I would always brush it with my left hand. So start practicing doing things that made me uncomfortable. So I would have my toothbrush in one hand and my gold card in the other hand. And this is how I would brush my teeth. And reading my goals. So happy and grateful now that I'm Chairman 10. Boom, reading it. Programming my mind to see it, hear it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because the time that I spent by myself was very intentional. If you're on your phone, spending time on your own, that's not intentional time. That's not deep work. It's not deep work. If you're distracted with your phone, if you're distracted with this person, that person, what's on the news, what's going on here, never works. Brush my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I would go downstairs, stop at the store really quick, buy some blueberries, buy some water, and buy some almonds. I think it would come out to like about $6 total. Walk to the park, do my meditation, do my visualization, read, journal, and work out. Mind you, this whole time, I haven't checked Instagram. I haven't messaged anybody. I haven't called anybody. Nothing. The only thing I would go on Instagram for was to post the thing on my story for accountability so that my team could see that I did it. And I could be an example for my organization. But you would never see me post. Like you guys see me do my morning routine, and I post that I'm at the beach, I'm on a walk, I'm reading, whatever. But you got to understand that I'm not fully on my phone, though. I'm only doing it for accountability. So I could be able to look back at the end of the day and be like, okay, how did my day go? Let me see what I recorded. Boom, 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 boom. And then I would do that for 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours daily, deep work. And at those times, I was in New York, so I was by myself. You think my friends was gonna wake up at 5 in the morning like with me? No shot. Bro, the streets were empty. Empty. I was outside with nobody almost. I would walk the streets. There was no cars, nothing. There was nobody outside when I would be outside. It was so peaceful, so quiet, so tranquil. But that time with myself was everything to me. That time by myself was everything. So you got to spend 25% of your time with yourself, but you got to understand me and God, absolutely, Carmen, right? I was spending that time with me and God, but you got to understand, family, is this, okay, is that has to be daily. That has to be every day. That time with yourself is so key because like Carmen said, not only are you spending it with yourself, but you're also with God at that time. And I would have conversations with God during those times. And I would ask and I would be thankful and I would praise and I would give glory. It's so funny that you say AK with the pigeons. Though I was in the park with the squirrels. The squirrels were cool with me. Literally. There were squirrels that were friends with me because I would go to the same tree every day. And because I always brought almonds, they would always literally pull up on me. Like they would sit there and wait for me to throw them an almond. They were friends with me. Like they were comfortable to the point where they would literally walk up to me and I could feed them the almond and they would take it right from my hands. No cap. I have videos of it. Didn't I show you yesterday? They would literally come up to me. They were comfortable with me. The squirrels were so comfortable with me because they saw the same person every single day. And I would always bring the almonds and I would always give them almonds. And they loved me. They loved me. I was like, yo, this is so lit. No cap. I'm gonna look for the video and I'm gonna post it on my story so you guys can see that I'm not lying to you guys. But I would spend that time by myself. Nah, it's the New York squirrels, right? But it was so dope though. That time, that daily, time by myself, that deep work changed my life. I'm telling you guys, I'll never ever be the same if it wasn't for that morning routine. So you got to spend 25% of the time, the 25% of your day has to be spent in alone time, in solitude, just you, yourself, and God. Make sure that that's something that you're doing. So that's number one. Okay. Number two is you want to be spending time with family and friends. Okay. 25% of your time should be spent with family and friends. Okay. And that's always good. All right. That's always good. You want to spend time with those people who are close to you, who, you appreciate, who you're thankful for. Because at the end of the day, guys, you got to understand that, family is all we got. All right. And the reason why the first 25% is yourself, because how does the saying go? Before you can lead others, what do you have to do, guys, before you can lead others? Let's see if we know. Before you can lead others, you must lead yourself. You gotta lead yourself. All right. You gotta lead yourself. And somebody in the chat said, hey, what if they live far away? Certain things you gotta control. Like, for example, me right now, I don't live with my family, right? But I call my mom and dad and I talk to them every day. That's a conversation that needs to be had every single day, rain or shine, that has to be had. So I call my mom and dad every day. I call my little brother 3-4 times a week. I talk to if I be honest, I need to call my day one brothers a little bit more, but I talk to them. We're in chats together. We laugh and stuff like that. But I call my friends all the time. Can I do more? Absolutely. Can I call everybody a little bit more? Absolutely. But it worked both ways, right? So you guys got to understand this stuff. This is key. Now, China, Paris, you said, what if you spend 100% of your time with yourself? Is that bad? Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because when I go over the 4, I'm going to tell you why it's bad to spend too much time with each area that I just go over. So for those who are wondering why, that's what it is, right? But if you spend time with family and friends, that's good, because honestly, guys, every time I go back home to New York City, it reminds me why I do these things. It's not that I forget. I know why I'm doing this each and every single day. But when I go back home to my mom and dad, and just being able to spend time with them, and they're still doing the same things every day. My mom and dad, they work in the mornings, right? They come home in the afternoons. They literally still have the same routine from when I woke up. They get home, they turn on the news. My mom cooks. We eat, we talk, we laugh. My mom watches her novelas that start around 6-7 o'clock. If there's baseball games on, my dad is watching the baseball game. By 10 o'clock, they're asleep. I know my parents' routine to the T. And when I'm home, that's what I do with my parents. Like, I know they get home. I know they're home from work, whatever. And I sit at home with them from 4 o'clock till 10 o'clock. And I'm there and I talk to them, and I have a beer with my mom. My mom loves to drink beers. She loves to have beers. So every time I'm home, she knows I like to have beers with her. She always call the store like, hey, bring me 2 packs of beers. So and I'll sit there and just talk with my mom, and that's what she loves to do. And I'll never take it away from her. The Coronas for those that Dominicans. For Dominicans, what I'm saying right here. How we are, and if she had her Presidentes, she would be drinking Presidentes, but she don't got those. But she loves to sit down. Like, that's what my mom finds pleasure in. She finds pleasure in cooking me good food, watching me eat it, having a beer with me, laughing with me, talking with me about all these things that are happening in life. And that's what my mom and dad love to do. They love that. They love to do that. And I enjoy that time with my family. But when I'm not there, okay, I take the time every day to call them, even if it's for 5 minutes. I still take the time to call them. And if you still have your mom and your dad, and I'm sorry for those who have lost their parents, or don't have one. I truly, I am sorry, for real. But if you still have those individuals, call them every day. Don't go days without calling your parents, fam. Don't do that. Call them every single day. Tell them how much you appreciate them, how much you love them. Send them random flowers, random edible arrangements. If anything, they deserve more than anything else. For real. For real, for real. Don't forget your family, fam. Never, ever, ever, ever forget your family. And as I'm telling you guys that, like, trust me, fam, that every day I think about this stuff. Like, I don't even like to talk about sometimes my parents, because I get too emotional because of everything that they've done for me, and knowing that I could never, it will take me a lifetime to pay them back for the things that they did for me the last 27 years of my life. Think about that. It will take me a whole lifetime to pay them back for everything that they've done for me. All right. So, what if you and your parents don't have a good relationship? Then that's something that, I think you guys got to fix. Okay. And if you don't have that relationship, then I'm sure you have other family and friends out there that you consider family, that you should spend time with. Spend time with the people that you consider family, friends. Okay, that's also important. All right, very, very key. So that's number 2. All right. Number 3 is your mentees. All right, your mentees. Spend time with the people that you're working with, the people that are leaders in your organizations. Okay, people that you're business partners with. Okay, that's very important. You got to spend time with those individuals. Right now, I have mentees at my house. Okay, that I told them to come down and let's spend some time together. They deserve it. They've been working. They've been developing themselves. They've been showing up to events. They've been on the calls. I said, yo, come down to the crib, spend a week here, and let's work. Let me help you guys out. Let me give you guys game plan. Let me talk to people that you've talked to before. Let's close some deals. Let's trade in the morning. Let's watch Netflix at night together. Let's bond. Let's whatever it is, But spending time with my mentees, okay, is something that's very important. All right, you gotta understand this stuff. Okay, but not too much time, because then the law of familiarity starts to seek in. Okay, so you have to do it by a certain period of time. You could spend time with mentees, but not too much time. Okay, and you got to know that, and you got to understand that as a leader of your organization. All right, and that's key. And spending time with your mentees is important because they also hold you accountable. All right, you can't slack off when you have your mentees around you. So you have it's not like I slack off when they're not here, but it's even more like I got to even be more on point because I got to be an example. Okay, and that's key. Having mentees around is very, very important. Having people around you that are inspired by you, that, that you're working with, that you want to be able to spend time with these individuals. All right, and that's key. And that's how it works. All right, as long as you can be an example for your mentees, that could be game changing for you. All right, so number 3 is mentees. And then number 4 is mentors. People that have more than you, people that are more successful than you, people that know more than you. You want to spend time with mentors as well. 25% of your time. You want to spend it with your mentors. That's important. What did I do yesterday? I went and spent time with my mentor. Now, do I spend time with Matt every day? No. Matt is my best friend and my mentor. Think about that. Not only is he my best friend, but he's also my mentor. And I never ever allow, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that mentees make. They allow the friendship to confuse them with the mentorship. Because me and Matt if you see us, we're literally like little brother, big brother. You won't even think that he's my mentor. But literally, we're able to switch it off and on like that. Like yesterday, we were friends. We were hanging out. Boom, boom, boom. We were working out. We sparred. We did everything. And even till the moment until right after he started to mentor me, he was still being a friend. He was still joking with me. I'm like, all right, Matt, let's go, bro. We had just got out the shower, everything. I'm like, all right, bro, let's game plan because I got to go. He was like, sorry, bro, I actually checked out for the day. I'm not doing anything no more. I'm like, bro, stop playing, bro. Like, come on, let's do this. Let's do this game plan that I told you that. This is why I came over here, bro. I came over here for a game plan. And he was like, can't do nothing about it, bro. I'm checked out for the day. I already did everything I got to do. And he was playing with me all the way up onto that. And then he said, nah, I'm just joking, bro. Let's do it. Right? Let's sit down. Let's rock. And right there, literally, he went from a friend to a mentor like that. Literally, I watched his energy, his thing entirely shift. And that's it. All right, bro, let's talk. All right, where you at with your organization? How you've been? Talk to me, bro. What are the pros and what are the cons of where your organization is right now? And then the rest is history. And we spent an whole hour mentor-mentee conversation. And that's so important, guys. I never, ever, ever take my mentorship and my proximity for granted. Never, bro. When he speaks, I'm always listening. Always listening. Every time he talks, I listen. On my way to his house, I had questions written down in my notes as to what I needed from him to answer for me. I don't take those things for granted. He invites me over. Yes, I know the key code to his door. I could just go in anytime. Like, I could go when he's not there. Like, that's really my brother. But I never, ever take that for granted, though. And that's what I want you guys to understand. I am always a student. And you never outshine the master either. That's one of the laws of power. I'll never, ever try to outshine Matt. Because if it wasn't for Matt and his mentorship and his guidance and everything that he's done for me, right, I wouldn't be as far as I am right now. And it's not that I'm taking away credit from God, because God deserves all the credit. But God put Matt in my life as a vessel here on the physical earth to guide me and show me the way, because he's somebody that has the results that I want. But when the student is ready, the mentor appears. It took me years of consistency to find the mentor. Years of consistency. Years of showing up to all the events, asking questions, reaching out to him, showing him that I'm there. I did everything to make sure that he recognized me. Everything. Because I wanted him as my mentor. He's from New York. He has the results that I want. He's a number 5 network marketer in the world. He has a beautiful family. Okay. You understand? So I never, ever took that for granted. So you want to spend time with your mentors. And if you don't have a mentor, that's okay. Because guess what? When the mentee is ready, the mentor will appear. Or when the student is ready, the mentor will appear. It took me 2 years of being a student for Matt, the mentor, to recognize me. And you know what's the funniest part? He didn't even recognize me. His wife, Janelis, was the one that recognized me. She was the one that said, yo, you see that kid, Nano? That kid is going to be special. The way he looks at you, the way he listens to you, the way he was always taking notes. You know what's the fun? Look at how life works. When Matt speaks, I'm always listening. I was the only kid. We would be in groups like this, and I was the only kid always with my notebook like this, taking notes. Matt would be talking. I would only be the only one in the room with my notebook out, taking notes like this. The only one. And guess what? You do that enough. You show people enough that you're truly interested, like locked in, not on my phone, on the side, chilling. No, right here, me and you. Right here, me and you, Matt. What you saying? Bet. Say less. You said to buy this book? Say less. Buying it right now. Boom, boom, boom. Always. You know what's funny? He once checked me. I think I've told you guys a story on Mornings with Neno before. One day we were in a car on our way somewhere, and I was sitting shotgun. It was the driver. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was driving, and then it was me in the front seat, and then it was his wife and Matt behind me. Okay, and he was dropping knowledge. I can't remember who the driver was, but the driver was a student, and he was asking him questions in the back, and he was dropping knowledge, like fire sauce. And I was on my phone, and he gave me like a little smack on the head like that. He was like, "Yo, I'm dropping all this knowledge, bro, and you're over here on your phone." And I'm like, "Matt, you see that you a rookie, bro? Like, look, I'm over here taking notes, bro." You know, and he thought that I was on my phone, like not paying attention to him. But the whole time I was paying attention to everything that he said. And I already had a whole list of notes written out because I was listening to everything that he said. And he said, "That's why I appreciate you, bro. That's why I have so much respect for you. And that's why I keep you close to me, bro. I appreciate that right there." He literally told me that. He said, "I appreciate that right there," because most people would have just, obviously, 95% of the information that you don't write down, you forget it. So I was literally there taking notes, always a student. I never ever slip up on that, bro. When I'm telling you guys, I am a mentee. Like, I am a mentee. I never ever take it for granted. Never. And that's something that you guys want to do with your mentors. Never ever take the proximity. Don't ever allow the law of familiarity to become a thing, regardless of how cool y'all get, regardless of how much you know about him, regardless of anything. You never ever let the law of familiarity become a thing. Never. You will lose so much in life if you allow that to happen. You will lose so much. I know people that have gotten familiar with me, and they don't even talk to me anymore. It's the crazy, because I gave them so much access. I gave them so much. They became so much of my friends that they lost the mentee-mentor relationship. And that happens. It's so funny. Alex Morton just texted me. But it happens. It's part of the game. And I learned that. I'm like, I let them too close. I kept them too close for too long. They got familiar, and now they take it for granted. They think that they know everything. They're around me. They don't take notes. They don't listen to anything I say. They'll be at my house, and I'll be doing mornings with Nano, and they'll be sleeping on their phones and not paying attention. They let the law of familiarity seek in. Once they do that, I know that they've lost it. And that's what happens. And that's okay. It's part of it. It's part of the game as a mentor that you understand. If I did that with Matt, trust me, he wouldn't give me as much proximity as I have. But because he knows I'm always a student and I never ever allow that relationship to mix, I know the difference. I know when it's time for mentorship, and I know when it's time for friendship. And think about it. 90% of the conversations I have with Matt are friendship. They're nothing. We're just laughing, bullshitting, whatever. But that 10% is all I need. That 10% is all I need. 90% of it is friendship. The 10%, that mentorship, is the game changer for us. So you got to spend time with your mentors. And if you don't have a mentor, do what John C. Maxwell says, learning lunches. Tell somebody, "Yo, let's have coffee. Let me take you to lunch. Let me ask you some questions." I do all of that stuff. You don't know how many learning lunches I've had with people. So many learning lunches, bro. It's so funny because a lot of the mentors that I have, the way I was able to have them mentor me is because their girlfriends liked me before they ever did. Think how crazy. Even with Alex Morton too. Alex Morton was the same way. Luna loved me before Alex Morton actually started. Like, he knew who I was, but once Luna was like, "Yo, him," now Alex Morton loves me too. He's like, "Yep, perfect," right? But I don't know what it is. That's how it is sometimes, right? That's how it worked for me. Because women are good judges of character. They can tell who's real, who's not. They can kind of see who wants personal benefit, who just wants to use you. It's so true. It is so true that it works every time. Katie's the same with me. Every time she's ever told me, Nano, be careful with that guy. Don't trust him. She's never, ever, ever been wrong. Never. Never been wrong. Every time she told me, be careful with that person, they either did something, they left the business, they talk bad about me, something. Women, I don't know, your intuition is just something else. But I don't even question it anymore. If she tells me, I already have my nano blinkers on and I'm always aware, okay, I got to be careful. I got to know. They be knowing. So shout out to the women out there, right? Shout out to Katie, right? But it's important that you guys understand this stuff, guys. Key information, all right? Now, so the 4 were yourself, family and friends, your mentees, and your mentors. You got to spend 25% with each time. With each category. Now, if you spend too much time on each of these, let me tell you what the consequences are. If you spend too much time with yourself, there's a possibility of depression. If you spend too much time with your family gets comfortable. All right. If you spend too much time with your mentees, you will burn them out and the law of familiarity will seek in. And if you spend too much time with your mentors, you will get stuck and you will have lack of action. Okay. So too much time with yourself, there's a possibility for depression. Too much time on your own, like just being on your own too much can lead to depression. Too much time on your own. Alone time is great, but you have to do it in percentages. So too much time on your own can lead to depression. Okay, overthinking, a lot of stuff. Too much time with your family and friends, they get comfortable. I know family and friends that they're way too comfortable with me. They don't care that I make money. They're just comfortable with Nano. They don't know who I'm gonna be. They just know me for who I always been, for who I always was. They still know the old Nano. They forgot that Nano has grown so much to be the person that I am today. All right. If you spend too much time with mentees, then you can burn them out and the law of familiarity will start to seek in. And if you spend too much time with mentors, it'll lead to lack of action and feeling stuck. It's the truth. Doesn't matter how much time I spend with my mentor, I never, ever feel stuck. Never. Never. Never, ever feel stuck. Because we're always grinding. Regardless, Matt is always working. No matter what. And yeah, there's days that we show up and we literally just sit on the couch and play video games and talk all day. Like, obviously, there's days like that. But then there's days when I show up and we're on a call every hour of the hour. Boom, 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 boom. Calls. Training. Three-way. So understand the law of 25. And I know some of you guys, like you said, hey, Nano, I don't have time with my family. Nano, I don't have a mentee yet. Nano, I don't have a mentor. That's okay. This is a training that's going to help you understand this when you do have it. What I would do if I were you, okay, no matter what, you can spend time with yourself. We all spend time with ourselves every day. Great. That's perfect. The next thing was family and friends. If you don't have family and friends to hang out with, call them, check in on them. When was the last time you checked in on your family, bro? On your cousins, on your men, not on your cousins. I mean, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmother, your grandfather. You don't know how much I wish my grandparents were alive. I was so ungrateful for my grandparents growing up, bro. That's one of my regrets. One of my, not I don't like to say regrets, but if I could go back, I wish I was more grateful for my grandparents, because I was one of those little kids that never wanted to go to my grandparents' house. I always wanted to be home with my friends. I was like, no, I don't want to go to grandma's. I don't want to go. I want to stay with my friends here at home. And I never, ever. And it's funny because I grew up with my grandparents. Like my mom would go to work, and I still remember till this day waking up. I would sleep in the middle of my grandmother and my grandfather. I can still vividly remember those days waking up next to them, in the middle of them. That's where my mom would leave me when she went to work. And as you get older, and I'm 7, 8 years old, unfortunately, my grandparents were already in their 70s, 80s. So by the age that I was, already in high school, I had already I had all four of them. I had two grandmothers and two grandfathers, and they're all unfortunately, resting in heaven right now. You don't know how bad I wish I could go back, and how bad I wish that they were alive so I could go talk to them and just pick their brain, I love listening to real wisdom. You know what I'm saying? True wisdom. And I took that stuff for granted. So if you still have your grandmother, your grandfathers, hit them up, talk to them, ask them questions, ask them about their childhoods. Like, I learned so much from my mom and my dad, asking them about their childhoods, bro, all the time, dude. I learned so much, and I learned like so much about like the way they used to work, and how like the humble beginnings they came from, and like crazy stuff, bro. I would learn just from talking to them. Like, those little things mean the world, and they love to grandmothers and grandfathers and parents, they love to talk about that stuff. They love to talk about the way they lived and what they did in the past. They love to tell stories. Man, they love to tell stories, right? I'm gonna have the best stories to tell when I'm a grandfather to my grandkids. I'm gonna tell them the best stories. I'm gonna be the best grandfather ever, right? But it's important that you guys understand this stuff. Anybody in your family, and if you don't get along with family, then go find some new family. Go find new family. Look, we are family on this call. You guys are my family. I spend time with you guys every day. I spend time with you guys every day, Monday through Friday. I spend at least an hour with you guys, my Mornings with Nano family. You guys are part of my family. Okay, very important. Mentees, right? If you don't have any mentees, go find business partners. Go find people that you want to guide and show them the way. And if you don't have a mentor, start developing yourself. Find ways to diversify your time in different areas, fam. But that right there is the law of 25. If you guys got value from today's call, put a 25 in the chat box. If you guys got value from today's call, 25, 25, 25, 25s. All right, super important stuff. This is one of those trainings that some of you guys will be able to use now. Some of you guys will have to look back 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and use it then. But this is a training to increase your awareness, just so you could be aware of everything. You know what I'm saying? And remember, I'm also a mentor as well. So don't ever take Mornings with Nano and forget that there's don't let the familiarity of jumping on the calls with me every day become a thing. Because remember, I'm always growing. I have access to the information. Okay. I'm never staying the same. I'm always growing more and more and more. It doesn't matter if I do the same training every single day, or if I talk about the same things every day, you still jump on. You don't know how many times I've heard the same training that Matt Rosa does, and every time I take notes on the same training every time. Still to this day, never allow it. I've heard some of his trainings more than 5 times, the same one, and every time I take notes like if it was the first time. Because at the end of the day, repetition is the key. Regardless of anything, repetition is key. You guys will hear the same song 100 times until you learn every single word, but you haven't done that with the audio, with one of your mentors. That's the key. So consistency, repetition is always super important. So never allow us to become familiar. We're friends, we're family, but remember, we're also mentee, mentor. Don't ever allow the familiarity, the fact that you jump on these calls every day with me, become something that you become too familiar with and too good for it to show up. Because I've seen so many people suffer because they stopped showing up on mornings with Nano. I've seen so many people hit me up like, yo, Nano, bro, I was jumping on your calls consistently and my life was at the best that it's ever been. And since I stopped jumping on, everything has gone wrong, bro. Everything is going wrong. I'm not where I want to be at right now. I need to get back on the calls. And then they jump back on and they see that all they were missing was letting go of that ego. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys even more. Thank you guys so much for hopping on today's call. I'm glad I was able to teach you guys the law of 25. I learned that from my mentor yesterday and I right away taught it. That's how I am. I learned something and I teach it right away. Because I'm like, yo, that's so much. And he also, I think that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. He talked about yesterday finding the treasure. Oh my God. He gave me this answer yesterday about finding the treasure. Damn, that one was good. That one was good. But that's probably something I'll talk to you guys about tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and then we're going to go. All right, quick prayer. Let's bow our heads. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful, abundant day that's filled with your grace. We are so thankful that you wake us up each and every single day to serve our purpose. So because you woke us up today, we know that you're not done working on us, God. Every day is just such a blessing, God. And we just notice it more and more that you're right here with us on these calls. You're pouring in all this incredible information into us, into our families, into our business partners. And we are all growing so much. I see the team growing so much. I see so many individuals, getting rid of the past experiences, the forgiveness that they needed to do. People are growing closer relationship with you. And I feel your presence more and more every single day, God. So I want to thank you for showing up for us daily. And we promise to continue to show up for you, God. We ask that you continue to protect us, continue to guide us, and show us the way. We also want to pray for the people out in Russia and Ukraine. A lot of, crazy things happening out there, but we just pray that, you put your hand over those individuals over there and we bring peace, we bring enlightenment to those individuals, and just pray that anyone that's going through anything out there, that you stand by their side and let them know that everything is going to be okay because you are in control, God. So we are praying for those individuals over there. But with that being said, let's go out there and let's have an incredible, productive day. Let's have breakthroughs. Let's have quantum leaps. And let's continue to be the best versions of ourselves, because we got to be the example for the rest of the world to follow, God. So we thank you so much for being such a great leader for us. We will continue to be great followers, and we will never allow the law of familiarity to seek in with us. So we love you and we appreciate you. In your name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on this call. As you guys know, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate you guys even more for everything. If you guys can just do me a favor as a token of appreciation, just like the video. If you guys can just like this video, show love, leave a comment, leave a review, subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet subscribed to it, subscribe to it as well. Podcast season 3 is out. It's been a great podcast season. Season 3 is game changing, and it's changing a lot of lives. If you're in the Dallas area, all right, I'm going to be in Dallas this week, and I'll probably be flying in on Saturday for an event, okay, that we're going to be having. So let me know. I'll be dropping some more information on that as well, so you guys can tap in with that. What is the podcast info? The podcast info is Mornings with Nano. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, multiple different places, fam. So you can get it there. And I'm just super excited for everything. All right, guys. So have a great day. God bless you guys all. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode of Moni's Oneno. God bless.